Hello, this is going to be our video for the installer of our File Infector Virus. My name is Omar Coles.
My name is Ranier Sardinas.
My name is Joel Velazquez.
My name is Austin Milliren.
My name is Nicolas Raveau.
And as the security specialist, we've decided that we're going to go ahead and use a virtual machine. This will ensure safety when it comes to the virus. So we go ahead and go onto our Oracle VirtualBox Manager, and this is how we're going to go ahead and create the VM. We're going to press New. We're going to go ahead and name it Windows. And so for this, you'll need to download the Windows 11 ISO. I already have it downloaded, so I'm going to go ahead and select it here. It should automatically set your edition to Windows 11 Home. I'm going to go ahead and press Next. So you can go ahead and set your username and password as whatever you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and keep mine the same. And you do not need a product key when it comes to this. So let's go ahead and press Next. Now this is the hardware of the machine. We really only need a couple megabytes. I'll go ahead and put it around here. And when it comes to processors, I like to just give it 4 processors. You could do more if you'd like. It'll run more smooth the more you put it. We're going to press next. Now this is the virtual hard disk. I like to keep mine kind of low, around 20 gigabytes, but you can do as much as you like. I'd say minimum 20 gigabytes. From there, you go ahead and press next. And there you go. You go ahead and press finish. Now you can go run the machine.
Once you get your VM started, you could go ahead and go on Google and download the latest update for Python. Yep. And once you finally have the most recent update for Python, you could go ahead and choose your personal IDE. In our case, for our project, we felt like using Visual Studio was going to help enhance our project. So we ended up using Visual Studio Code and then go ahead and download that as well to your Windows 10 or 11.
So at this point, now when you have the installer installed from Python and you have your IDE, you're going to want to make sure you have the correct packages in order to run our File Infector Virus. In order to do this, you're going to need to launch the command prompt and make sure you right click and run it as an administrator. It will prompt you to say if you want this app to allow to change your device, you're going to click yes. So at this point, there is one command that we need to use, which is pip installer. And we're going to download 3 packages. These 3 packages are essential to allowing our program to run. The first packages is Pillow. Pillow allows for the images and the background images of our application to be ran. And if they're not installed, you're just going to be able to consistently getting an error and the program's just going to shut down. The next package that is absolutely necessary in order for the background and in order to go through is cryptography. And the cryptography is essentially the Fernet package from Python that allows you to encrypt the user's documents folder. And the last package we need to install is the py installer. And the reason why we install this package is so we can convert it into a .exe as we see here on the desktop. And this .exe will allow the user, even if they don't have any of these packages or any of these requirements in this video, it will still be able to run on the user's machine. Austin, it's your part.
Next, I will be explaining how to maintain our software, and there's basically two ways you can do that. The first way is either you reboot the VM and start the process from there, or as I'm about to show you, you have to run through the entire process of our software. So we start by hitting the install. So once you hit the install, our ransomware website pops up as usual, but it also encrypts our uh, documents. So when we go into the folder, we could see that our documents are encrypted. So in order to reset the process, you would have to go through the entire process of clicking the installer, and then now you have to click the uninstaller. And once you do that, you'll type in the password as usual.
If it does prompt you with an incorrect password, just try again. We do provide the password in the README text file, as well as the password is case sensitive. So please make sure you enter it correctly. Once you enter the password correctly, just give the VM a second to be able to decrypt all the documents. And that is the maintenance of our program.
Right, so if you go back into the files, you can see that they are unencrypted now and your files are back. So if you were to just stop the process halfway through without doing the uninstall, your documents would remain encrypted. So either restart the VM or run the process all the way through.
And it's very important to maintain this process because if you decide to run the installer twice, you might corrupt the original file that was there. And they may never be able to be recovered again.
Next, we are going to pass it over to Nicolas.
All right, for future updates of our File Infector application, one of our key goals is to ensure full compatibility with Mac OS systems. Currently, the application is packaged primarily for Windows using a .exe executable tied to a phishing style installer. However, since macOS uses a completely different application architecture, our team will need to rework both the packaging process and the system calls for macOS environments. To begin, we'll leverage Python tools like PO2app or pinstaller, tailored for macOS to convert our scripts into a .app bundles. We'll also verify that any file system interactions, such as encryption documents or saving keys, are redirected to macOS equivalent paths like documents or desktop using a os.path.expander user. Finally, we plan to replicate the Mario-style GUI using native compatible libraries like Thinker and ensure resources like background images or HTML payloads are bundled into the .app using resources loaders compatible with macOS bundle structures. And this will be a final update for a final deliverable on File Infector Virus.
Thank you everyone for joining us today on our installation process of our File Infector Virus.